Hi, I'm Charlie Davis, and today we're going to show you 3 different techniques you can use with Good Bones furniture paint. First up is a modern flat solid technique. You want to start by making sure your piece is nice and clean. You can use a mild soap or a glass cleaner that's going to cut any grease or oils that might be on your surface. Your next step is painting. You're going to start in the corners and really work the brush into the spaces, getting the paint in there. The paint really stretches a long way. We cover a lot of surface area with a little paint. Next is a wash look. First, you'll want to make sure the surface is nice and clean. You'll thin down the paint a fair amount, which will allow the grain and wood to shine through. Mix the paint along with some water in a separate container. Here we have about a 1/4 cup of paint. You can always add more water or more paint. This is about the consistency of milk. A little body to it, but not much at all. You can apply with a brush or straight with a rag. You will want to have a rag handy because you'll need it for wiping. When doing the wash technique, you'll want to work really quickly so everything is evenly coated and drying at approximately the same time. Next, you'll wipe it off while it's still pretty wet. Finally, we have the distressed look. This is when Good Bones' heavy body paint really comes into play. You'll want to clean your piece of any grease or grime, but leaving some dust may enhance the look when you go to stain. You'll want to work the paint into the corners to make sure everything is nice and covered. Here we're using a crosshatch technique, which helps build the texture but also get even coverage. We're using a pretty janky old brush here, which is perfect for a distress technique because it will show a lot of organic texture. You can use the side of your brush and build the paint in certain areas, creating more texture. After about 10 or 15 minutes, your paint should be dry and ready for distressing. We recommend 400 grit sandpaper, which is pretty fine grit, allowing for subtle changes. One thing to think about while distressing a piece is where the natural wear points would be. After you're satisfied with your level of distress, you have the option to add a glaze or wax purely for looks. Good Bones is self-sealing, so it doesn't need a sealer or wax coat. Thanks for checking out our tutorials. Be sure to check our YouTube channel for more tutorials to come.